Whoa, got another beast, a freaking beast. Today we're going to be talking about this copper rig. Oh yeah, there's 3 different versions. You got the stainless steel, you got the brass, and you got this right here, this copper rig. First things first, we got to cover the price point for these devices. The stainless steel version sells retail anywhere between 160 and 180 USD, and then you got the brass version, which sells anywhere between 180 and 200 USD, and then the copper version right here sells retail anywhere between 210 and 240 bucks, and then you got the limited edition, which sells anywhere between 250 and 280 USD. So right now I've got this Eric RDA sitting on this freaking rig, this copper rig. Okay, I got a 0.3 ohm build, and with the 0.3 ohm build, the voltage drop under low with a freshly charged battery is 0.4. 0.4. I mean, she hits, man. She hits like a truck full of dildos. Nah, man, she hits harder than King Kong on steroids. The regular voltage drop for the mod itself is 0.05. 0.05. The voltage drop for this SS rig is 0.07, and with the Eric on there, the exact same build, the 0.3 ohm build, the voltage drop under load is 0.74. And with this brass rig, the voltage drop is 0.06. Voltage drop under load with the Eric on there, same build, 0.3 ohm build is 0.5. So yeah, as you guys can see, I prefer the copper one. I mean, I got all 3 of them. But I prefer the copper. The copper hits considerably harder than the stainless steel. I noticed a difference. With the brass, I noticed a slight difference. I mean, you gotta be aware. You gotta pay attention to those details. But this thing, I mean, copper. How you gonna go wrong with copper? The only thing is you got a cleaner. I clean this sucker like once a week. I've been using this for 3.5, 4 months now. Put her through the ringer. Put her through the freaking ringer. She's a hoss. She's a boss. Hey, without further ado, let's go ahead and dive down. I'm going to show you this thing, close-up time, parts, how to go together, how to put together the bottom firing switch, all that good stuff, all that gravy, and then we'll come back and I'm going to talk about the pros and the cons, and we'll wrap this sucker up, and I'll tell you where you can get one. Here are the boxes the rig mechanical mod comes in. As you guys can see, here's the copper one. Pop a lid for this one. There's the brass, and then you pop the lid for this one, and then here's the stainless steel, baby. Oh yeah, so that's the packaging right there. Here's the copper rig, all disassembled. At the top, you got the tube, the 18650 tube, and then down here, you've got these 3 parts, which make up the bottom firing switch, and then over here, you've got the top cap. And here's the 18650 tube this sucker comes with. On the front, you got engraved the rig. A little tour of the outside. As you guys can see, there are a few scratches, but that's all my doing. And you notice how it's lighter, more shiny. Well, it's because I just freaking cleaned this sucker. I cleaned her top to bottom. Okay, yeah, buddy. Threads at the top are smooth. Inside of the barrel. And this barrel is massive. I mean, she is thick. She's got some girth to her. And here's the base of this device. Now, you notice something different? There are no freaking threads. No threads, baby. None. And here's a closer look at the base. As you guys can see, this vent hole right here, you got a vent hole for battery venting, and you got a little slot in here, and that houses the bottom firing switch and the button and the spring, etc., which I'll show you guys how to assemble in a second. And here's the top cap for this device. Nice 510 connection threads. I mean, as smooth as a catfish's belly, baby. Then you got this nice taper that leads up top, and then down here you got these nice beefy threads all across the board for this mechanical mod. I mean, smooth. Some of the smoothest threads that I've dealt with on any mechanical mod out there in a long while. But again, that's what you're paying for. Then you got these pins, these adjustable pins down here. The top one adjusts to the atomizer you have on the top cap, and then the bottom one adjusts to the battery you have in the barrel. And then down here you got this nice Delrin insulator. Again, here's the base of this top cap. Now you see these scratches right here all along the base. That's my doing. That's all my doing. I put this thing through the ringer, man. When I first received it, I mean, it was mint. All across the board, this device was mint. So the next step, what I'm going to go ahead and do is assemble the bottom firing switch. I got this barrel, okay? I'm looking down, all the way down to the bottom. Okay, I'm going to take this pin and insert her in, just like that. She's now upside down. All I'm going to do is give her a shake so she falls into place. Just like that. Then what you're going to want to do is take an old dead battery. I repeat, an old dead battery. You don't want something that's newer, that's charged or anything. It's got to be dead. I've got this old MXJO, man, completely dead. Don't even use her anymore. She's just my junk battery. Gonna pop that sucker in here just like that. So when I flip her over like so, okay, the bottom of that pin is sticking out where the threads are. That's exactly what you want. Okay, the next step, I'm going to take an atomizer that I do not even have a build in, and I'm going to go ahead and screw it on this top cap. I don't want it to fire up when I'm assembling this bottom firing switch, okay? It's got to have no build. I repeat, no build in the atomizer you're installing. Tighten up the top nut to make a connection with your RDA, and then I'm going to go ahead and screw this down. It's got to be a tight fit, no battery rattle. Okay, no bad rattle. All you hearing is that pin down there shaking a little bit. And then what I'm going to do from there is take this stainless steel spring, pop that in there, like so. Take the bottom firing button, and I'm going to go ahead and line it up with that pin right there. And then I'm just going to press her in and screw that sucker in. And you want to screw it until she's completely flush. And that is how to reassemble your bottom firing switch. What I'm going to go ahead and do from there is take this top cap off, take out this dead battery, pop a freshly charged battery in there, screw the atomizer in here with a build in this sucker. Today I'm going to be using the Eric or Aeric. Screw her in until she's making connection. Adjust the bottom. Make sure she fires. Oh, we're good to go. That is the Copper Rig mechanical mod. Now, a few specs for you. This device is 25 millimeters in width, but it does taper up top to fit your 22 millimeter devices. Again, here it is with the Aeric. I mean, look, sick ass tits, baby. She is 110 millimeters in length, uses copper contacts, as you guys just saw. You got Delrin insulator up top, and you got a Delrin insulator ring down here at the base. And just like I mentioned, this thing only holds an 18650 battery. So that is the Copper Rig mechanical mod. Let's go ahead and take her back to FaceTime, wrap this sucker up, and let you guys know where you can get one of these bad boys. First, pros. She's a hefty son of a bitch. I mean, she is a hefty, one of the heftiest mechanical mods that I've dealt with in a while. I mean, you get what you pay for, you do, and she's solid. I mean, you saw in the close-ups, everything about this is solid. The threads, woo-wee, buttery smooth. Smooth as a baby's butt. Another thing I love about this device, and what stood out to me the most about this, is the bottom switch. The bottom switch, there's no threads. No freaking threads. In my opinion, you know, it's super easy to disassemble this thing and clean it, because with this copper mod, I mean, like I said, I clean this thing once a week. I mean, if she gets dirty, those contacts get dirty, you got to clean her. If you want her to hit maximum capacity, if you want her to hit hard every time, you got to clean her. And with this, you know, at first I worried about that bottom switch, how I was going to take it apart. I mean, there's no threads, how's this work, blah blah blah. But just like I showed you in the close-up, super easy peasy. What a sleazy. Even though this device is 25 millimeters in width, okay, there's a taper up top. So all my 22 millimeter devices, 22 millimeter RDAs, RDTAs, doesn't matter. It fits down, it fits flush on all of them. Every device that I've used sits down and fits flush, by the way. But everything that I screw onto here, because of that taper, it looks the tits. Back to the firing button at the base. Okay, because it's flush and there's no threads, you don't have to worry about a locking ring. I forgot to mention that. You don't have to worry about a locking ring. It's not going to fire. I can set this sucker down every time, press on it, press on it, press on it. Press on it, press on it, press on it. It's not going to fire. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention the bottom firing switch, the button. Okay, before I received this, I was worried that it was going to back out, but to be honest with you, it rarely does. I've had this thing 3 to 4 months now. It's backed out on me like 2 to 3 times, and all you got to do when it starts to back out is just turn it clockwise and it tightens back up. Once it's flush, you're good to go. You don't have to worry about it. Like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, the voltage drop under low for this copper mod is just ridiculous. Ridiculously low. Love it. I mean, it's up there with the best of them. The Ragnarok, the Pegasus. You guys know how I felt about the Pegasus. This thing hits right up there with it. But because of that voltage drop, the voltage drop being so low, the voltage drop under load being so low, I mean, you're going to get better battery life. Gotta love it. It's a big pro. Now the cons. Okay, the first con, this is a subjective con. For the guys that don't like long devices, you're probably not going to like this. 110 millimeters in length. I mean, she's a whopper in length. A whopper. And also in width. 25 millimeters in width. If you're the type of guy, you're the type of vapor, you want a device that is 22 millimeters. You may not like it. But again, it's got that taper up top, which I don't mind because everything I screw on there looks flush, gives it a sick as tits clean look. But again, it may be subjective. You may not want it because it's not 22 millimeters all the way through. And then the last con that I found, well, this is another subjective con, but that's price point. For me, this thing's expensive. These devices are expensive. Anything above 130 bucks for mechanical mod is expensive. IMO. I almost forgot to go over the quality control, machining, all that, etc. Okay, rating these suckers, all 3 of these, stainless steel, brass, copper, from 1 to 10 scale as far as quality control, craftsmanship, etc. What do I rate them between a 1 to 10 scale? I would give them a good 8 out of 10. Exceptional. The quality, the machining, You guys saw in the close-ups this copper mod. I've had this thing for damn near 4 months, and I use this thing, I try to use this thing pretty much every day or every other day. That's how much I've been using it. So the shop that I received these bad boys from is a shop by the name of Epic Vape. EpicVape.com. Here's a link. I'll have a link in the description. Alright, so here's the big question, the big answer for you. If I was a mechanical mod fiend, that's all I use is mechanical mods. I lost this sucker today. Would I go tomorrow and buy one? And the answer is no, and I'll tell you why. The price point. Okay, like I mentioned in my previous videos, 130 bucks is my cap. I mean, that's as high as I'm going to go if I'm going to spend on a mechanical mod. These things are significantly more than 130 bucks. But I got to say this, the quality of this, the freaking weight, the heftiness, you're going to get a monster. She's going to feel she's going to be worthy of the price. I just can't, I can't break down and spend that much for a mechanical mod. I just can't do it. This is Rip Trippers, and remember, smoking is dead, vaping is the future, and the future is now.